Should have a good one for you here. And what are you looking forward to in this ball game today?
Well, I'm looking forward to Lane Tech, getting a little bit of a bounce back game. They had a dominating win over Morton yesterday. I'd like to see some of their players that didn't really have the best performance get more involved today, like Jackson Labcon and Dalton Scanterbury. And as for the Knights, I'd like to see Ben McLaughlin get used a little bit more. Teams have kind of been singling him out and silencing his game. Only 6 points last game as their main star. I'd like to see him get involved a little bit more.
About ready for tip-off. Lincoln Way Central in their white uniforms, black numbers, red outline. Lane Tech, green uniforms, gold numbers as a tip-off. And it's Lane Tech to take the tip-off, going left to right to start us off, and quickly inside for the score. Scantleberry with the 2.
Dalton Scantlebury was big in their first game. I like to see them throw to him right out the gates here.
Free throw line. Now kick out into the corner. Into a post up. A kick out to the near wing is out of bounds. A turnover early for the Knights.
I like the Knights trying to throw the ball there, just off the mark, trying to find Kangalati on the near side.
Lane Tech going to turn over with an over and back. Both teams trading turnovers here in the early going.
A rare mistake from Salibo. He had 0 turnovers in yesterday's game. Already off the bat getting 1.
Lincoln Way Central into their half-court offense against his Lane Tech zone. Up and under move doesn't fall for the Knights. Here comes Lane Tech. Into the corner. Post up, kick out, 3-pointer on its way. Does not go, was left a little bit short. Offensive rebound tracked down, but they'll say he was out of bounds. It'll go the Knights' way.
Scantlebury really trying to fight to get that offensive rebound, trying to throw it back out to his champion teammates, but just stepped on the line.
For Lincoln Way Central, Kevin Barrett into the corner for Caglianotti. They get it out of that corner now, driving from the top of the key, finding Caglianotti. Baseline jumper is good.
It's good to see that connection. Ben McLaughlin and Corey Caglianotti already working in this game.
A little half-court pressure shown from the Knights. Attacking now, losing his dribble is Labkin. 3-pointer does not fall for Salibo. Here come the Knights. Nice move. Caglianotti misses the runner.
Swatted
offensive
away.
Rebound. Yeah, and he got swatted. Back the other way. Here comes Lane Tech. Nice dish for 2 there for Lane Tech, and that was finished off by Bechtold.
Going the other way.
Left hand finish goes down for, that was Bechtold. On the other side, Mazanowski was the one scoring for Lane Tech. Got the number 12s confused. As they trade buckets. 4-4 our score. Couple minutes into the first quarter between Lane Tech and Lincoln Way Central. Dish inside and another 2. That's Mazanowski. 6'7" junior gets back-to-back buckets to fall for Lane Tech.
You like to see Lane Tech get everyone involved on their possessions, something that got them a big win over Morton.
Caglianotti stepping into a left wing 3 and knocking it down.
Caglianotti didn't even attempt a 3 yesterday, so already getting a high work rate here.
A trap and a steal. No, they're going to say timeout. Lane Tech right in front of their own bench was where they were trapped. Threw the ball away, but they grant them the timeout.
A smart timeout called. got it just in the nick of time as he threw it away and it was intercepted by the Knights. They would have had a clear shot at the basket. Able to get the timeout in time.
Yeah, just barely did get that timeout, saved the turnover. It's 28 on the shot clock when we come back from this timeout. Competitive affair so far for Lincoln Way Central and Lane Tech. Both teams splitting games in this tournament so far. 1 win, 1 loss. What stood out to you the first 2 days of the tournament from either side?
Well, from Lane Tech, I like to see the depth that they have that they were bringing in the game. Goodhart and Pepper, they really brought them in. They were making a difference, especially in yesterday's game against Morton. And as for Lincoln Way Central, you'd like to see Ben McLaughlin get used a little bit more.
Solibo misses on the runner. Back the other way come the Knights. Right wing 3 from Caglianati. This time he leaves it short. Nearly fouled at midcourt. Here's Solibo for 2.
That's the way Solibo plays. 7 points in yesterday's game and a lot of those in transition. A great player in Lane Tech's offense.
They got out in transition real fast. As in ball knocked out of bounds by Labkin. 22 on the shot clock. 4:03 left to go first quarter. It's an 8-7 game in favor of Lane Tech.
Note for Lincoln Way Central, they got Owen Novak into the game, number 31. Only played 5 minutes in yesterday's win over Schaumburg.
Gonna get a call here. And
we got a little score, time clock malfunction.
And it will stay Knights' possession. They do change the shot clock now to 17. A little bit lower than it was a moment ago. Working around the perimeter. Got to get something going to the basket here soon. With now 8 on the shot clock. Short corner. Try to feed it inside Caglianati. 3 on the shot clock. Kick out. 3-pointer on its way. And it's no good. Rebound Lane Tech.
Solibo's going to try to get some pace here.
Knights do a good job of getting back. A drive from the free throw line and forcing one up through contact. And heading to the line will be Scantleberry shooting 2.
Maybe a little bit of a game plan, change. Lane Tech only shot 38% from the three-point line yesterday, so maybe trying to get more mid-range and driving into the basket type of shots today against Lincoln Way Central, where they clearly have the height advantage.
Scantleberry missing on the first. Gets one more. And he does knock that one down. Full court pressure from Lane Tech after the made free throw. And a bad pass stolen at midcourt. Solibo for 3. And I think that was partially blocked from behind.
It looks like maybe Corey Kangalati got a little bit of contact on Solibo, not called by the official there.
Free throw line jumper is banked in by Owen Novak.
Some nice points early in the game for Owen Novak. Only played 5 minutes of the game yesterday. Already making a big effort for the Knights.
Just a sophomore player, knocks down that mid-range jumper to tie the game at 9. Here's a near corner 3 that does not go for Lapkin. Rebound Lincoln Way Central, they're pushing back the other way. Fake on the left wing for a 3. Instead, they'll pull it back out. Right wing now is Gerke. Gerke driving a kick. 15 on the shot clock. Caglianati trying to track down that errant pass that was stolen away. Nice step through and the finish through a little bit of contact. No call. Parker Williams gets the bucket.
Another steal by Solibo. That's a second already in the game.
Gerke has it, right wing. Guarded closely. Now swung to the near corner. Short corner now. Bethke had it for a moment. Now right wing three from Novak. He knocks it down.
Novak making a big impact on this game so far.
Gives the Knights a 12-11 advantage with a minute and a half to go, and an errant pass out of bounds. Lane Tech turns it over.
Another Lane Tech turnover. You know, they didn't have much in their game yesterday, only 10, but already you start to see a little bit of a pattern from Lane Tech.
They'll continue the full court pressure. Sideline inbound for the Knights. Went out near their bench. Oh, dangerous pass. Saliba almost had that steal, and they're going to get a foul called on Lane Tech at half court. That'll be on Rosenkrantz. Junior guard there, getting the foul. Caglianotti in the near corner. Kick out, opposite wing. Now a runner from Gerke, no good. Rebound tipped and won by Caglianotti, who puts it in on the left side.
The work rate for Lincoln Way Central has them as an early advantage in this game against Lane Tech. We've got to see how the champions can respond.
Minute to go, first quarter, 14-11. Lincoln Way Central on top. Mid-range jumper does not fall for Salibo. Lincoln Way Central pushing the ball once again, trying to finish as Salibo looked like he was trying to take the charge. The finish did not go. Lane Tech back quickly the other way. Rosenkrantz a right wing three. Back rim no good. Offensive rebound, Lane Tech. And they will reset as the shot clock has been turned off. 25 seconds to go. First quarter, and looks like the Knights are trying to take a foul here. Novak pretty clearly went out to foul. Salibo out near the midcourt logo.
Might be trying to get themselves another possession to extend their lead. They're only up by 3 right now. You know, take advantage. Lane Tech hasn't been capitalizing too much.
Not very many fouls called in this first quarter, but we're going to get one there. It's an offensive foul on Lane Tech.
Call that on Rosenkrantz.
Wow, so big turn of events here at the end of this first quarter. Now Lincoln Way Central with the chance to try to extend their lead. 12 seconds to go. The Knights still dribbling with it a lot at midcourt, and as they were trying to feed the post, I believe a foul was called.
Foul's called. Lane Tech's going to get the ball near their bench.
Did not see who it was on, but Lane Tech will get the ball with 6.2 seconds remaining. They get it into Salibo. Salibo with 3, now 2, loses the ball and then tries to get the ball back, and he is fouled at the buzzer. He somehow got the ball back in the corner and forced up a shot, and a foul is called before the first quarter buzzer. They're playing the music here in the arena, but they shouldn't be, as Salibo is going to the line.
And that's actually going to be 3 shots. He was beyond the 3-point line.
Wow, so he's going to be all alone there on the free throw line. Everyone goes to their bench with no time remaining on the clock. Makes the first.
Shahid Salibo only got to the line twice yesterday, went 1 of 2. Team shooting 50% from the charity stripe.
2 swishes so far and gets 1 more. Salibo, left-hander, knocks down all 3. So wow, this first quarter could have ended a bunch of different ways. Both teams had their shots at it, and at the end of the first quarter, it's Lane Tech tying the game with 3 free throws from Shahid Salibo. And what was an entertaining first quarter. We'll be right back after a quick break. Second quarter action from the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic coming up in just a moment.
Indeed is the #1 job search user with over 250 million monthly users. Indeed's priority is to help everyone in the job searching process to find a job by uploading 10 new job opportunities every 10 seconds worldwide. With Indeed, you have free access to job searches, resume uploads, and company researches. There are over 10,000 employees at Indeed that pursue to help people find the job they are looking for. They connect with millions of people to new opportunities. Go to Indeed.com and sign up for free and create a resume and let Indeed do the rest to help you on your job search.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A Major League First baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
We're back for second quarter action here at Hinsdale Central High School. Hinsdale Central Hill at Holiday Classic. Lincoln Way Central and Lane Tech tied at 14 as we began the second quarter with the Knights in possession. They've swung the ball around the wing now for about 20 seconds. Now finally get it into the lane. Kick back out, Caglianotti. Drive, dish underneath with 7 on the shot clock. A back down, a kick out, a three-pointer on its way. Left short by McLaughlin. Lane Tech. They'll shoot a 3 from the far corner. It goes down. Trevor Goodhart knocking it down.
Instantly coming in and making an impact for Lane Tech.
And just like that, Lane Tech has a 3-point lead. Underneath McLaughlin, couldn't get it to go. The ball swatted out of bounds. It will stay with the Knights, but a point-blank opportunity does not fall for Lincoln Way Central.
No, and that's kind of been the story of the whole tournament for Ben McLaughlin. Their main facilitator, number 5 in white, but it just hasn't been that it factor the Knights have had this entire tournament.
Gonna need him to step up his game if they want to beat a really good Lane Tech team today. As nice mid-range jumper does fall for Logan Bechtold, 6'4" junior forward. Couple buckets for him in this first half. Mid-range jumper, maybe a little bit forced there from Parker Williams. Does not fall. Lincoln Way Central with some speed the other way. Going downhill as Caglianotti couldn't finish. Rebound fought for and won by Lane Tech. And an offensive foul the other way. Bechtold kind of sold that one, throwing his body back a little bit. There was a little bit of an extension of the off arm, and that's what they're going to get the foul on there. And Lane Tech, I believe that was Parker Williams.
We've seen a lot of teams today, try to drive that baseline. That's a call that refs have maybe been a little missing throughout the day. So as you see, they'll probably start calling that charge a little bit more throughout the day.
Lincoln Way Central going to work down by 1. 6 minutes to go, second quarter. Got a blocking foul on the McLaughlin drive.
Yeah, Trevor Goodhart.
Indeed, it is Goodhart picking up the foul.
Foul's on number 3, Goodhart. That's his first.
One thing to note, that Lane Tech, they've kind of dipped into their bench here a little bit, but they had a lot of scoring off their bench yesterday. Dylan Pepper with 14 points. He went 2 for 3 from 3. And then also Luke Pinto, who didn't even play in their first game, he had 12 points.
Lane Tech trying to match the energy of Lincoln Way Central as they get a steal there. Ill-advised pass from Caglianotti. Parker Williams going a little bit too fast, though, on the kick out. It's thrown out of bounds. Another Lane Tech turnover.
The passing of Lane Tech hasn't been in sync as I've seen in these last couple games they've played. They look a little bit frantic, maybe moving a little bit too fast. Salibo checks into the game to maybe help that a little bit.
Yeah, he's somebody who can play with pace, but also maybe a little bit more careful with the basketball. Caglianotti left elbow jumper knocks it down. And then pokes it away on the inbound. It'll stay Lane Tech basketball, but Caglianotti's all over the place here to start, or here in this first half for Lincoln Way Central.
It didn't even start yesterday's game. It started today and has made a big impact, scoring 9 points for the Knights.
Lane Tech driving hard the other way. And going to draw the foul. Drew Bartolet.
Drew Bartolet, they missed a travel call, and head coach of the Knights was really trying to make Evan Wiley trying to let the official know that, hey, there was a travel. You even saw Ben McLaughlin on the far side walking over to his spot in the paint say, hey, you know, that was a travel. He took a couple extra steps from the three-point line to the free throw line. You got a baseline throw in.
Yeah, well, I was even more surprised that he was trying to line up for a free throw, and the ref said, no, that is on the floor. So that as the inbound came, the three-pointer doesn't go for Solibo. Gets the ball back, drives, and is called for the foul, an offensive foul as he went charging to the hoop.
Let me just say, though, Solibo got up there. I'm actually kind of surprised they called a charge there. He got very high up there. It didn't really seem like one, but
right wing fakes on the three-pointer. Near corner now. Oh, nice dish underneath. High-low play. Bechtold to Tingley just into the game. Another sophomore forward along with Owen Novak.
you know, one thing we've seen throughout the day from these teams that are undersized, they're getting a lot of low passes off. Right there, you saw it again.
Runner through the lane, and Bartolet gets that one to fall. 20-19, Knights on top, as that one probably should have been something. No call. And then a mid-range jumper doesn't fall for Bechtold. Fast pace the other way. Lane Tech gonna be able to draw a foul here.
Solibo going in with power again. Absolutely unit out there for the champions.
Solibo is gonna go to the line. Tingley picks up his second.
You know, Shahid Solibo is able to get in there with a 6'5" frame. Senior, you know, one of the bright spots for the champion offense.
Definitely a lot of athleticism as he misses that first free throw. You can see the burst as well from Solibo, and worked to his advantage that time. Able to draw the foul. The left-hander has one more at the free throw line. Looking to tie the ball game. And cannot. Offensive board saved. And Lane Tech gets another shot at it.
Scandalberry getting in on the offensive rebound there.
Couple of new players in for Lane Tech. Labkin. Mid-range just inside the free throw line. Can't get it to go. Strong defensive board from Bechtold, and it's going to draw a foul on Scandalberry. 14 fouls now on the champions with 3:58 left to go till halftime. So every Lane Tech foul from here on till halftime will result in Lincoln Way Central free throws. Knights, top of the key. McLaughlin shuffled the feet. Turnover.
Continuing his little bad run of form here. One thing I do like to see is a little connection between him and Will Gerke. Will Gerke's been coming off the bench for them, trying to be another spark plug for the Knights offense.
Speaking of Gerke, giving some full court pressure to the current point guard for Lane Tech, Jackson Lapkin. Followed him all the way towards the bench where he poked it out of bounds. It'll stay with Lane Tech.
We actually haven't seen a lot of Jackson Lapcon today, and he's been more of their main facilitator in their last two games, really leading this offense.
A fake handoff as Scandalberry Got it back up now. It's Solibo for top of the key three. Does not fall.
Solibo was yelling for that pass there.
Caglianotti went spinning, then kicked it out to Novak, who decided against the shot. They reset at the top. Gierke loses his dribble, gets it out to Caglianotti. 15 on the shot clock. McLaughlin has it now. To Gierke, far corner. Gierke with 7 on the shot clock. Trying to drive baseline now. Kick out. No, he stepped out of bounds first.
Yeah, just trying to do a little bit too much there. Kind of saw a little bit of pivoting from him in the previous possession. Then they're doing a nice little spin move to try to get to the baseline. Trying to do too much on the pass there.
Full court pressure. With McLaughlin guarding Solibo. Solibo gets a screen, turns the corner, gets to the hoop, couldn't finish through contact, no call. Back the other way comes Lincoln Way Central. Caglianotti into the paint. Now without his dribble, kicks it out. McLaughlin with it, and we have a stoppage in play as
It's like Will Gierke was to be taken off the floor here.
Yeah,
Get
he's
looked at
shaken
by
up.
trainers. He's bleeding from his face there as he goes toward the end of the night's bench.
So they'll stop play. Did they get a timeout, or this might be just to clean up maybe if there was any blood on the court here?
I think they're just trying to clean up the blood on the floor. I think the referee pointing to that end where Will Gierke came from.
A stoppage with 2:22 left to go in the second quarter. 20-19, Lincoln Way Central on top of Lane Tech. This has been a closely contested ball game throughout this first half. Back and forth. It was tied at the end of the first. Like I said, a 1-point lead for the Knights currently. What's the key to this last 2:22 for either side in your mind?
I think for the Knights, keeping up that passing game that they've had, they've been able to kind of throw it around Lane Tech. Lane Tech not really using their size to get in front of passing. We've seen some of them using their athleticism, but the Knights have been able to basically throw it around their side of the court. And as for Lane Tech, I'd like to see a little bit more use of their size. You know, Mazanowski hasn't been getting that many looks. You know, we've seen Scantleberry been driving, but what I'd kind of like to see more of is either Labcon or Rosencrantz, you know, driving and dishing out to those guys down low, because it made their offense look a lot smoother in their last game against Morton.
You speak to that size. I mean, we've talked a lot about Solibo, who's a 6'5" guard, but then Mazanowski, 6'7" junior forward. Scantleberry, 6'8" junior forward. Probably like to see some more post touches from them, or something to that effect. You know, especially when you look at Lincoln Way's roster, and I mean, the tallest player, 6'4", so you got a few inches at least there, and for Lane Tech though, they just haven't been able to capitalize on that. Lincoln Way Central, to their credit, has been I think really moving the ball well and getting good looks against a team that has such a size advantage over them.
You know, and it's kind of dangerous to see this Knights team because they're two big players. You know, Will Gierke, who just exited the game, you know, bleeding from his nose, I believe. But Ben McLaughlin really hasn't been an it factor for them the entire tournament, has no points on this game so far. But they're still able to jump out to an early lead against a Lane Tech team that looked almost unstoppable against Morton yesterday.
Yeah, other players able to step up, and if McLaughlin can get going in this ball game, boy, that would be just a huge boost in a game that they're already playing well as a team. But if they could get their leading scorer to step up his scoring punch as well, that could spell trouble for Lane Tech. Although they will now have to play Lincoln Way Central, that is, without a key player, as you said. Gierke over on the sideline getting tended to. Not sure if he'll be able to come back in or not. We'll see as the game and the tournament progresses. We are now back to action Lincoln Way Central has the possession. Barrett, dangerous pass. It was tipped away. Novak is able to track it down. There's now 9 on the shot clock as Solibo gets called for a reach-in.
Now, one thing to point out for the Knights here is they've had Braden Myers start in each of their last 2 games, and he hasn't even touched the floor yet in this game. He's been a really good factor for them, but taken out of the game here, not even entering the game, still sitting on the bench.
So Lebo picking up his second personal, and it's also the 5th team foul. So 2 shots at the line for Kevin Barrett. Knocks down the first. You hate that if you're Lane Tech to have your best player pick up not only a second foul, but pick up a foul with 9 on the shot clock, almost near midcourt, near the sideline, way away from the basket, and you give them 2 free throws in which they knock down. Lane Tech looks to answer here. Far corner 3 doesn't fall. Offensive rebound, Labkin. He'll pull it back out. Fresh shot clock. Swung around to Solibo. He'll fire left wing 3, in and out.
Lane Tech needs to start hitting these threes. Rosencrantz and Solibo have hit a lot of them. They just can't connect today.
Some good looks there. Couldn't get him to fall. Novak forces up a shot for Lincoln Way Central. Does not draw iron. Driving baseline now and stepping out of bounds is Rosencrantz.
Another turnover for this Lane Tech team. It's starting to become a problem for them. Braden Rosencrantz had 3 yesterday, picking up 1 there. And a missed shot on the last possession as well.
Kevin Barrett runs the point. Gave to Bethke. Now Barrett back into Bethke. Had it swatted away by Scantlebury. Lincoln Way Central does keep possession. Now 12 on the shot clock. Up top, Barrett. Right wing, Caglianati. 7 on the shot clock. Left wing. Nice dish underneath. Bethke couldn't quite handle it. Throws it up wildly. It's out of bounds. A shot clock violation. And Lane Tech takes the ball back. 49 seconds left. Down by 3 here before, with 49 seconds left before halftime.
Not the best position there from Lincoln Way Central. A little bit too much passing, not enough cutting.
Agreed. Yeah, I thought Bethke maybe if he could come up with that cleanly, might have had a look. But once he bobbled it, then he just had to kind of throw it up. Solibo a drive and kick. Rosencrantz top of the key. Gives to Labkin. Labkin trying to drive. Kick out. Another drive, this time from Parker Williams, who lays it off the glass and in.
Williams with a nice little pump fake, and then a drive on the right side, just laying it off the glass. Good to see him start making a turnaround in this game.
10 seconds to go. Shot clock turned off. 1-point lead for Lincoln Way Central. Trying to extending their lead before halftime. Now 4 on the shot clock. McLaughlin's got to go. The left-hander throws one off the backboard. Does not hit rim. And we have reached halftime. 22-21. Closely contested affair between Lincoln Way Central and Lane Tech. It's the Knights up by 1 here at the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. We're almost halfway through the action today. We'll have second half action of this ball game coming up shortly after this halftime break on Sportstown Chicago, home of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic.
Hot dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive, but what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive, but what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
This is your home for sports. Red left. SportsTownChicago.com.
There are everyday actions to help prevent.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit
Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports. Red left. SportsTownChicago.com.
You ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say four-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.
I came to Illinois Media School because I want to give back to the current students. It's something that really means a lot to me as an instructor, as a mentor, because I've been in this business for over 20 years. So it meant a lot to me to be able to come back and just teach some of the tricks of the trade to the students here at Illinois Media School. I'm Jonathan Hood from SiriusXM NBA Radio and ESPN Radio from the Illinois Media School campus in Lombard, and I am IMS.
Oh, howdy, folks. Clem, the old prospector here to tell you how you can strike it rich. You don't even need to pick up a shovel.
Hey, boss, he ain't working.
All you need is a giant food store bonus card to start saving big with big discounts every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
So come on in here to Giant today and get your bonus card. And don't forget to tell them Clem sent you. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Jesus Mauricio. Be sure to tune in every Friday to listen to Zeus Off the Bat, a baseball talk show from 1 to 2 p.m. where I'll be discussing and updating you on all things about baseball. News, predictions, reactions, and more about the Cubs, Sox, and everything across the league. Happens every Friday at 1 p.m. right here on SportsTownChicago.com. Don't forget
Coming back from halftime here at Hinsdale Central High School, home of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. We got a good second half coming up for you between Lincoln Way Central and Lane Tech, where it's the Knights of Lincoln Way Central up by 22-21 here in our fourth game of the day, 4th out of 8 here at Hinsdale Central. Ryan Christopherson, Scott Kiefer with you. And Scott, what that first half? I mean, we had a closely contested ball game. What stood out to you?
Well, what stood out to me was Lane Tech really weren't taking advantage of two main things. One, shooting from three. They were missing a lot. There was a lot of possessions where they even missed 2 3-point attempts in the same possession. Also, not using their size to their advantage. They have a clear height difference between 3 of their players, Solibo, Mazanowski, and Scantlebury, and they haven't really been using it against the Knights. What I like from the Knights is they're spreading the ball around a lot, able to find everyone in open court, trying everything they can to get open shots. But one thing we were talking about off air, Will Gerke looks like he's not going to be coming back in this game after going out with what looked like a bloody nose earlier. He actually has his warm-up on the bench.
Yeah, that happened with just over 2 minutes left in the second quarter took a hit. We actually, none of us really saw what happened, but he came off the court. They had to clean up a little bit of blood that from kind of his face, nose area. And anyways, he will not be back. So big loss depth-wise for Lincoln Way Central as Lane Tech gets us started going right to left to get us going. And a three-pointer to get Lane Tech going. Jackson Lapkin gives them the 2-point lead to start the second half.
Trying to set the tone early, the champions. Big shot by Lapkin.
Knights with possession. Barrett gives to Bechtold. Tingley had it for a moment on the top. Now an inside feed. Here's Bechtold backing his way underneath and had it rejected away. And it was saved by Mazanowski. He saved it from going out of bounds, then hit Bechtold with it as he was standing out of bounds. So it'll be Lane Tech basketball.
Big high IQ from Mazanowski there. That's why he's been one of their main players for Lane Tech over the course of these last two games.
Big time play. He got the rejection originally and then got the save. Got the ball back for Lane Tech. Salibo on the back cut went walking through the lane, gets hit with the traveling call.
Yeah, that was a fair call. He did, try to do a little bit too much there. Try to make a Euro step, just too many steps there.
Well, Barrett lost his footing at midcourt. Now Lincoln Way Central all of a sudden with a wide open layup. McLaughlin, they ended up with a 2-on-1 after it looked like it could have been disaster.
McLaughlin's first points of the game. Good to see him already making an impact in the second half.
And Barrett lost his footing near midcourt. Somehow got the ball back. Three-pointer does not fall for, I believe that was Mazanowski from the corner, but an offensive rebound was chased down by Lane Tech. And a loose ball foul called on Lincoln Way Central. It's the first foul of the third quarter. Post up for Parker Williams. Shot missed. Cagnolali back the other way. Kick out corner, extra pass, three-pointer from Tingley. Nothing but nets.
3 points, three-pointer for number 33.
And it's a 3-point lead for Lincoln Way Central. So Lebo, left wing. Double team inside and hit with the foul. Scantlebury going to the line for Lane Tech to see who they get the foul on. Lincoln Way Central. It's their second team foul.
I see them starting to feed their big men more as we start the second half here. Salibo with a nice find down there to Scantlebury.
As Scantlebury makes the first. Good reminder that's kind of how you have to play if you're Lane Tech or you want to play, to emphasize that size advantage. Not only getting to the free throw line, but now drawing a third foul on Tingley, who just hit a huge three-pointer a moment ago.
Absolutely.
And Tingley does check out as Scantlebury makes both. It's a 1-point lead for the Knights. 5:35 left to go third quarter. Cagnati. Oh, miscommunication with his teammate Bechtold. He throws it out of bounds, a turnover.
Something we haven't seen much out of the Knights today, that miscommunication. I think Bechtold and Cagnati not on the same page. I think also Novak was in that area. Too many players in one spot, a little confusion there.
Salibo tries to drive, has it stolen away. Pass caught by Novak. Back the other way, Barrett. Wraparound pass for Bechtold, didn't have space, and now Cagnati gets hit with his second straight turnover, this time shuffling his feet.
And back to the play on the other end by Novak. It didn't even seem like it left Salibo's hand before it got right into Novak's. It looks like they kind of just tossed it to each other there. Great play by Novak in the right spot.
Yeah, he snatched that one out of the air. Led to a run out for Lincoln Way Central. Three-pointer from the top of the key does not draw anything. It's an air ball out of bounds by Parker Williams. You see the Knights now, they'll go to their bench, a little bit deeper into their bench now with Gierke out. It's going to be number 45, Jack Rimkunis, 6'4" junior forward. A little bit of more size for the Knights. Ball tipped into the air off a deflection. It's going to be Lane Tech basketball. That's another turnover for Lincoln Way Central.
Not the start you want for the Knights, and I know they're still up by 1, but they haven't looked the best in this third quarter to start here.
27-26 Knights. Holding on to that 1-point lead, but Lane Tech with the basketball. Cross-court pass from Solibo. Williams nearly turned it over. Mazanowski has it in the corner, and they're going to get a blocking foul on the new man for the Knights, Rimkunis.
Foul's at number 45, Jack Rimkunis.
The Knights actually had really good defending in the first half.
We got a lob inside, and there's the size factor. Scantlebury caught the lob, gave a little head fake, and put the ball in for 2.
Back to what I was kind of saying. The Knights had really good defense there, but already 3 fouls early in this game, just halfway through.
Tipped ball. Knights do keep possession. They're just trying to get a shot up on this possession. I believe it's been 3 straight possessions ending in a turnover. Top of the key, McLaughlin driving, gets the shot up off the glass and in. There's that man, McLaughlin.
Starting to make an impact on this game. 4 points in the second half after no points in the first.
Spin move inside, reverse goes down for Mazanowski.
Scantlebury on that one, working inside. Big man number 13.
Rimkunis way away, wants to get to a guard. Here's Barrett, right wing. Drag step, drives to the hoop, and draws the foul.
That one got some of the Knights off the benches. It looked like it might have almost rolled in there as it hit the rim, but a little bit of disappointment there. Off of Lapkin.
It was a tough angle shot for Barrett. He almost got it to crawl over the rim. He'll take the free throws, though. He's knocked all of his attempts down so far, as he does on that first one. One more coming for Kevin Barrett. Nothing but net. 1-point lead. Lincoln Way Central. 3:03 left to go third quarter.
One thing we're seeing, needing to go into the depth a little bit for the Knights because of the injury to Gierke. Brett Bethke stepped on to the court just a moment ago. Maybe he'll make an effort for the Knights.
Saw him briefly in the second quarter as Solibo drives hard to the hoop. The left-hander on the left side gets it to go. A number of different left-handed players in this ball game. Some of the key players, in fact, Solibo on one side, McLaughlin on the other. They like to go left. Their strong side. Cagnati got caught in the air, was able to get to a teammate, now gets a floater right back from Bethke. Almost was in danger territory there when you get up in the air and you're not going to shoot it. But his teammate Bethke bailed him out there. Solibo forcing that one up, had it rejected away. Here comes the Knights with some speed. Bethke tries to throw it up. No, there's a huge collision. Oh, my.
It's Bethke slow to get up there.
Two
on the baseline.
Yeah, two Lane Tech players also going down hard. Solibo and I believe Scantlebury. I did miss what the actual call was.
I believe they called the foul on Bethke there. Oh no, goaltending call. So
that makes sense. Somebody got on the rim there. I know. It must have been a Lane Tech player.
I think it was Solibo getting the initial jump up there, trying to get a block there.
I hope everyone's okay. Bethke does go to the bench. 2 points for Lincoln Way Central. They're up 35-32. Lane Tech with possession. Spin move to the hoop. Can't get it to fall. Mazanowski. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Champions.
Also to mention, Salibo kind of went to the bench there. Kind of been watching him on the bench. He's kind of been rocking around, maybe in a little bit of pain after that collision there.
Hard-fought game. We've seen players go down to the deck. Nothing malicious or anything, but just a hard-fought ball game. Obviously, Will Gerke being out with getting knocked in the face earlier. Scantlebury down low. Boy, he put Cagnonati on skates there and laid it in.
Something to mention, 4 fouls for the Knights in this quarter already. The end of the third quarter here.
Lane Tech has had the green light to take it down low, especially in this third quarter. 12 on the shot clock, three-pointer lined up and not knocked down, but a rebound, Cagnolati scores it.
It's another time Cagnolati's been fighting for rebounds, able to put it back up there, extend the Knights' lead.
Pump fake, now takes a step just inside the three-point arc, missing on the shot as Rosenkrantz.
Wide open Bartolai to his right side, didn't even see him there as he took the free throw mid-range jumper.
40 seconds left. There's about a 17-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Can't run out the clock on this possession. Looking to get a good shot. Knights are up by 3, third quarter. Barrett had it deflected away. Got it to Bechtold. Bechtold with 3 on the shot clock. A backdoor cut. Cagnolati scores it.
Rosenkrantz tough to defend it there.
10 on the game clock, third quarter. Champions down by 5, trying to get a good shot here before the end of the quarter. 2 seconds and 1. Rosenkrantz has to throw it up. He does. It's short. And that ends the third quarter. The Knights bench fired up with that effort. Not only that basket, but then that defensive effort.
A lot of emotion on head coach Ethan Wiley's face. He knows with his team with a 5-point lead, they're in full control of this game.
Yeah, it's up there for one of the biggest leads of the game. I mean, this game has been closely contested throughout. 39-34, end of the third quarter, going to the fourth after a short break here on SportsTownChicago.com.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never.
Fourth quarter action here from Hinsdale Central High School, home of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic, game 4 of day 3. And it's a good one. Lincoln Way Central up by 5 and with possession to start the fourth quarter here against Lane Tech. Left wing 3, Cagnolati, no good. And a strong defensive board by Scantlebury of Lane Tech. Top of the key 3. Back rim, no good. Offensive rebound. That is Scantlebury again. Far corner 3 does not fall. Scantlebury in there once again. He tips it to a teammate. That teammate goes hard to the hoop and draws the foul. Drew Bartolai goes down to the floor, taken down to the floor by a Lincoln Way Central Knight.
You know, you like to see the champions start getting some shooting here. It's just not connecting for them. Something they got to work on with time starting to run out for them.
Well, lob misses Scantlebury, but Bartley was there. Scantlebury now a kick out, three-pointer in and out from Rosenkrantz, and the Knights secure the defensive board.
Just an unlucky bounce there for Rosenkrantz. See what the Knights can do here.
Near corner, Tingley faked the three, now gets it back, drives baseline, kick out to the top for Barrett. Cagnati. He'll drive baseline now. Kick out top of the key, McLaughlin. A jumper banks in the mid-range for McLaughlin.
Hinsdale bank Jim. Bank's always open. Ben McLaughlin rising above the rest to get a nice little bucket there.
He got up quickly. One dribble, rose up. Defender couldn't follow. There's a three-pointer, no good from Pepper. Rebound Knights. McLaughlin. Cagnati. Kick out. Open three. Tingley. Double bounce off the rim. No good. But a foul underneath. It's going to go against Lane Tech. That's going to be on Bartley. Trying to box out underneath. Knights keep possession, up by 7. 6:18 left to go in this one.
Salibo back in the game after taking that collision earlier. Hopefully trying to jumpstart Lane Tech here.
Well, they need a jump start right now. Down 7, need a stop. Top of the key, Tingley. He fakes the pass, now fires three, no good. Bechtold the rebound. Cagnati up for three, no good. Offensive rebound, Barrett. And Barrett is bumped out of bounds. It's a foul on Scantlebury there. Scantlebury picks up his second personal.
Well, Scantlebury's had a really good performance, 11 points in the game, but not many players on Lane Tech getting into foul trouble here coming down the stretch.
Bechtold got
Swatted away.
Yeah, he got it swatted. He couldn't quite come up with it cleanly the first time on the inbounds pass, and then once he tried to go up again, it got swatted away. Now inside, Scantlebury right over Bechtold for 2.
Big man, very strong down low.
He pretty much put Bechtold right under the rim. That's what you want to do as a big guy. Put your defender right underneath. Scantlebury has that, knocks that one away. He is all over the place right now.
He did, and I'd like to see the effort from him down low, trying to get the steal there, and even diving after the ball as it was almost going out of play.
Barrett kicked to Cagnati, and now McLaughlin. Short corner. Bechtold, 7 on the shot clock. Got to go. Swung around to Barrett. Barrett off balance three-pointer. Barely grazes the rim. Rebound Lane Tech.
That zone's really working for Lane Tech, it looks like, in the fourth quarter here.
Blocking foul. Salibo trying to go, well, not even around, but through McLaughlin, and McLaughlin's going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, that's a matchup we've seen a lot today between Ben McLaughlin and Shahid Salibo. 2 number 5s facing off against each other. That one looked like Salibo kind of just went in a little bit too hard. I think Ben McLaughlin couldn't even believe that they called the foul on him.
Quick fire three off the inbound, goes in and out for Goodhart's, but a foul underneath. It's going to go against the Knights.
And Evan Wiley, head coach of the Knights, can't even believe that one. So that's already the 3rd foul for the Knights in this fourth quarter.
41-36, Knights on top, 4:50 to go. In this fourth quarter, they find Scantlebury. Scantlebury wants an ISO, one-on-one post. Instead, he kicks it out, three-pointer. Does not go for Rosenkrantz.
It's been a huge problem for Lane Tech today. They just haven't been able to get the 3-ball to drop.
Scantlebury, he was feeling it. He wanted to clear out. He wanted to go one-on-one in the post with Bechtold, but couldn't get it. As Tingley misses inside, back the other way with some speed. Williams misses on the shot. He thought he got fouled. Knights come up with it. Knights with some speed the other way. McLaughlin kick to Barrett. Barrett doesn't have a shot. Instead tries to drive through the middle. Kick out McLaughlin, left wing three. Back rim, no good. Long rebound chased down by Lane Tech.
That big three by McLaughlin there got everyone on the Knights fans, even the bench, off their feet, hoping he would make it.
Solibo. Jumper does not fall, just inside the arc. It was a two-pointer. Jump shots just not falling today for Lane Tech.
See the emotion on Nick Legolbo's face. Upset at his team not being able to convert some shots here. So Knights take a timeout.
A timeout. Just under 4 minutes to go in this one. 5-point game. They talk, the two teams talk it over. Lincoln Way Central.
Speaking of talking it over, it looked like the head coach of Lane Tech, Legolbo, was kind of talking with the scorers table there, kind of wondering what he's talking about, maybe some fouls not being called. But really, some of his players just haven't been converting their shots as well as they have been over the last two games that they played. They played Morton yesterday, and even in the main South game, Lane Tech was able to convert a lot of their shots. The three ball maybe wasn't their special, but they were able to convert even their mid-range shots. I was actually very surprised that Solibo missed that mid-range. He's been getting to that spot consistently over this tournament, and that's been his key spot for him to score.
Yeah, you wonder if he's at 100% after taking a hard fall earlier in this second half. Hasn't seemed to be quite himself, at least yet, since he's come back in. Obviously a huge factor down the stretch. They need everything they can get from him. I am however impressed with the play of the big man inside, Dalton Scantlebury. I think his effort has been tremendous here, especially in the fourth quarter, trying to will his team back in it.
I think another thing that was impressive is Kangalati really facilitating this night's offense. He's a big reason why they have a lead late in this game.
Post feed, that's a tough one from the far corner. McLaughlin trying to get it in to Owen Novak on the post up. It was poked away by Lane Tech. 12 on the shot clock. Knights with a baseline inbounds. Quickly into Novak. Swung to the right wing. Tingley now near corner for Barrett. Three-pointer, no good. And that is Tingley with the rebound. Offensive board for the Knights. Fresh shot clock. They can take some more time off the clock. 3 minutes to go, up by 5. A drive does not go. A foul is called on Lane Tech.
Whoa.
So it was a hard drive. Owen Novak with his offhand, the left hand, couldn't get it to fall, but the offensive rebound by Tingley, who's been all over the place as well for Lincoln Way Central, draws the foul on the champions.
I thought you were going to see a little over the back foul there. It looks like he reached over Lockhart there, but Ethan Wiley loving the call there on the Knights bench.
Oh, right off the inbound. Lane Tech falls asleep. McLaughlin gets the basket to go right in the middle of the lane. And double dribble. Miscommunication from Lapkin and Solibo. Lane Tech turns it over. We have another timeout, this time by Lane Tech, as they try to settle things down. Now down by 7. And they'll have to play some defense coming out of this timeout.
Absolutely, and they need to make a quick turnaround. There's not that much time left in this game. Down by so much, they got to make a quick comeback. You could see their coach pleading with his team, like, keep the intensity up. Got to start communicating out there. As for the Knights coach, Ethan Wiley, he's loving everything his team has been doing tonight. They have played almost perfectly against Lane Tech. Very defensive, making it very confusing for Lane Tech to get some passes around, congesting the lanes. And something I'm very surprised about from them, Novak and Luke Tingley, Bachtold getting a lot of offensive rebounds, keeping possession. That's kind of been a theme throughout the Holiday Classic, is a lot of teams that are able to keep offensive possession, they just keep scoring. They're able to play at their best. So seeing that from the Knights has been really nice to see after a little bit of a struggle over the last 2 games.
Yeah, despite the size disadvantage, you're right. They have been able to get on the boards often, and not just preventing offensive boards from Lane Tech, but getting their own offensive boards as well, keeping possessions alive. A dangerous pass. Novak is able to grab that one in the front court. Barrett willing to waste some time now for the Knights. They do get it inside. High, low, cannot be made. Now Novak gets it back. Novak gets an offensive board once again after his first miss and puts it in. Wow, it's all effort there from Novak.
Like I said earlier, barely played yesterday, but making a huge impact in this game for the Knights.
9-point lead for Lincoln Way Central. Williams passes up a 3. Tough shot inside. And it falls off the rim. It seemed like it hung there for a couple of seconds before falling off.
Unlucky bounces for Lane Tech today.
McLaughlin, boy, that was a little bit of a force. Up 9 with under 2 to go. Forces one up early in the shot clock. 3-pointer goes down. This time a lucky bounce for Lane Tech. A huge 3 to cut it to 6 with 1:45 to go, and we got another timeout on the floor.
Game is definitely not over for Lane Tech. They've had the ability to score a lot of points in a short amount of time. The Knights have to lock up defensively, maybe take some time off the clock here out of this timeout.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised at that last Lincoln Way Central offensive possession. McLaughlin, a senior guard, took that one in 1-on-2 early in the shot clock, and hardly drew iron, if he even drew iron, which then led to a run out 3-pointer for Lane Tech. When you're up 9 and under 2 to go, you just can't do that.
Well, what I like to see from him is he's a guard, but the way he's kind of playing this seems more of like a small forward role. He's really getting up there with his shots, trying to get as high as he can to shoot the ball over a tall Lane Tech team. You could see how Wiley's coached his team, a little undersized, how they can play over the towering Lane Tech team.
6-point lead for Lincoln Way Central. Will be full court press from Lane Tech. 1:45 to go. Tingley inbounding and having trouble. Now does get it in. McLaughlin has it far sideline. A hard trap coming. He gets out of it, and then a touch foul. They call a touch foul there.
A little weak there. Wisnowski got in a good defensive position there. It's a call by the referee on there.
It'll be the 4th team foul, so no free throws yet. But that's not where Lane Tech really wanted to have the foul. Cagnonati just got to get it. He got it in the backcourt originally. Now finally does get it to the front court. And a foul called at midcourt. Salibo almost beat him to the spot, but instead gets called for the foul.
I think what he was trying to do was definitely get in the way there, but instead of kind of stopping himself and getting in a good position, kind of threw himself at Cagnolati there, pushing him out. So the refs are going to call that all day, and that sends Cagnolati to the line.
If he could have gotten there a split second sooner, maybe could have been in the position to make the trap at midcourt. Instead, Cagnolati to the line where he makes the first.
Lincoln Way Central, that was a big reason why they won against Schaumburg yesterday. They were able to get to the line. They actually had 18 free throw attempts. Cagnolati had 6 of them, and he made all 6 of them yesterday.
Looking to go 2 for 2 here, and he does. 8-point lead, and we get another timeout. Lincoln Way Central calls a 30-second timeout. So for Lane Tech, obviously they've struggled with their outside shot. They made their last one. Now, who can they go to, or where can they go to on this possession? Maybe to try to get another 3, or do they just try to get the best shot available.
I think the best position for them right now is feeding either Mazinowski or Scantlebury down low. Scantlebury sitting 13 points for the big man. That's been a way, maybe doing some pick and roll effort with Labcon or Saliba. We've been able to see that play a lot. It could help them, cut away at this deficit.
And for Saliba, I don't believe he has scored ever since he took that hard foul or took that hard fall earlier. And somebody that they desperately need down the stretch for some scoring punch. Specifically, maybe some outside shooting. Lane Tech with the basketball. Labkin looked at Scantlebury. Instead, Saliba has it top of the key. Kick out, three-pointer Williams, and he knocks it down. 1:10 to go.
Starting to turn it around, Parker Williams.
5-point game. Lincoln Way Central having a tough time getting it inbounds. And I believe we get another timeout. Lincoln Way Central just gets that timeout. Boy, they were having a really tough time getting the ball inbounds.
Evan Wiley, we've seen his being very ecstatic on the bench, happy about how his team has been performing, but on the last two possessions, not loving what he's seeing from his Knights, not being able to throw the ball in there, giving up an open 30-point look to Parker Williams. Definitely got to get something going to get it. You saw them struggle to get it over the half-court line on their last attempt getting over. Maybe drawing up something to relieve the pressure on Ken Galati and Ben McLaughlin.
Credit to Lane Tech there. I thought that last offensive set was pretty good. First they had Labkin, and they looked at Scantlebury posting up. They got some attention on that. Were able to get it to Saliba at the top of the key, who then was able to cross over, get driving right-handed, again drawing attention to him. Obviously need to have some attention on a player like that, and that opened up Williams, who was able to knock down an outside shot. Oh boy. That was, so they did the pass in.
Oh.
They did the pass in, and it was in where you pass it to the player that standing out of bounds and then try to pass it back into the player who was just passing it in. And it was knocked away, almost stolen. Now on this long pass, the Knights do come up with it. Oh, and Saliba takes it away. Saliba one-on-one, Euro step, scores it. Wow. Timeout. It's a 3-point game with 53 seconds to go. There was a lot going on in that last few seconds.
A little bit of ball doesn't lie there from Lane Tech. It kind of looks like the ball didn't go off of Mazinowski down there. Knights get another throw in. And Saliba, a beautiful steal. That's the fourth time we've seen him do that today. Brilliant performance from Saliba on the defensive side of the ball. And a beautiful Euro step down the lane on the left side.
Well, in the case of, I believe it was Bechtold who had that basketball, the big man who got the ball. And not only did I think he maybe expected a foul, but then he kind of held the ball out.
Yeah.
And away from the basket, not facing towards the basket, kind of let his guard down. And Saliba came in, didn't see Saliba, who was able to just grab it and go all the way for the layup. And it was a pretty nice finish as well, a Euro step to finish the bucket. And, we got a 3-point game with 53 seconds left. Lane Tech's going to continue that pressure, and rightfully so. 6'7" Mazinowski on the ball. They get it into the corner. Barrett, guarded by three players, is able to get to McLaughlin. McLaughlin is fouled by Mazinowski. So they take the early foul. They could have tried to play that one out if they so chose, but there was only a 12-second differential between shot clock and game clock. So they'll play the foul game here.
I wonder what they were talking about in that huddle there. Scantlebury kind of looked confused why they took a foul so quickly. And McLaughlin making his first one. It's coming down to the wire here. Who's going to pull it out? Who's going to step up here for both teams?
McLaughlin makes both. Probably not the guy you wanted to foul. Maybe adding to Scantlebury's confusion there. So 5-point game. Just about 40 seconds left as a post up for Scantlebury. Inside right-hand hook does not fall. Offensive rebound, Mazanowski, and a foul is called underneath. Will they call it shooting or on the floor?
They're going to call that one on the floor. I think they're pleading their case for a shooting foul.
And they're going to say on the floor.
Wow.
So baseline inbounds coming. That's just the 4th team foul. One more, and they would be shooting regardless. 35 seconds exactly on the game clock. Lane Tech down 5. Baseline inbounds coming inside feed. Scantlebury kick out. One extra pass. Mazanowski a 3. He knocks it down.
That's another big 3 for Mazanowski. A huge corner 3. Feel like emulating a play they ran earlier in the game.
A nice play at that. Again, getting it into Scantlebury, which they've done often on these inbounds plays. They've gotten a few buckets out of it. Now he's able to get the assist to Mazanowski as the 3-pointers are starting to fall here for Lane Tech after they really didn't fall all ball game long.
No, they really haven't. And I think now they're starting to get a lot better looks, taking the Knights players even out of contention. Mazanowski a little contested there, but he originally started with the ball with a lot of space, able to be composed. I think that's something different that Lane Tech has been drawing up in the second half.
Well, it helps also to be 6'7", one of the tallest players on the floor.
Yes, it does.
And a higher release for him as well, so harder to block. He's able to knock down that 3. It's a 2-point game, 49-47. Lincoln Way Central clinging to that 2-point lead. They will have the inbounds coming, and again, having to face that pressure. We've had a lot of timeouts. Both teams really saving up their timeouts for the final stretch, and they've needed and used all of them here down the stretch as the teams now come back out to the floor.
Well, one thing we have noticed from both of these teams is they've both really emulated what their coaches have been talking about in these talks. So saving those timeouts late down the stretch, a great call for both Wiley and Lane Tech's coach.
28.1 seconds remaining. Tingley running the baseline. He does get it into McLaughlin. McLaughlin now to Barrett. Caglianotti trying to draw the foul, kind of throwing his head back a little bit. And
wow,
they get a timeout with 17.2 seconds left. So 11 seconds come off the clock. And then they do finally get that timeout right in front of their own bench, does Lincoln Way Central.
Got a little bit lucky there, in my opinion. It looked like Caglianotti on his pivot may have moved as far one. A call that we've seen so many times today. And, it's a close bang-bang call, but I think maybe Wiley got it in just before, got the timeout in just before.
So,
coming down to the wire here.
Lincoln Way Central will have a sideline inbounds coming. Up by 2, 17 seconds left. The next Lane Tech foul will send Lincoln Way Central to the free throw line for 2 shots. And, I guess if you're Lane Tech, who are you looking to foul? I think off the top of my head, you wouldn't want to foul Caglianotti or McLaughlin. Or Barrett, for that matter. A bunch of good free throw shooters out on the floor for Lincoln Way Central.
I would say out of those 3, who they try to get the ball to the most on, I would probably want to foul Ben McLaughlin a little bit more. He's been really good in the second half. But I think the one person you hope doesn't get the ball is Caglianotti. He will knock down all those free throws.
Novak and Tingley, the other 2 on the floor. Bechtold not on the floor for Lincoln Way Central. Tingley to throw it in. And gets it into McLaughlin near midcourt. McLaughlin looking for a teammate, finds Novak, and finally a foul is taken with 11.9 to go.
That's probably a good foul there. Novak, hasn't really gotten a big chance to get a free throw here in this game. Like I said, didn't really play much yesterday, didn't attempt one. So maybe someone you believe the pressure could get to in this late game stage.
A young player, a sophomore, goes to the line, and wow, nothing but net on the first. Bechtold ready to check in for, assume, defensive purposes.
Now, if he doesn't make it, Lane Tech can slow down the play a little bit. There's just under 12 seconds left.
Need a miss if you're Lane Tech, but he's not going to miss.
Wow.
Novak, nothing but net on both free throws. 4-point lead, Lincoln Way Central, 11.9 seconds to go. a quick stoppage to get some subs into the ballgame. Lane Tech's got to score quick here. They get it in to Labkin. Labkin crossing over. Oh, it's off of Williams' chest, out of bounds, a turnover. And that might seal the fate for Lane Tech there. A turnover. And Lincoln Way Central's got to get this ball in now and just make their free throws. Don't want to throw it close to their net. Instead, they throw it to Barrett in the front court. Barrett is fouled with 5.4 seconds remaining.
And that was the problem we saw with Lane Tech all game. Their turnovers, wasted possessions, obviously not being able to hit from the three. It all contributed to a very shocking win by the Knights. A team now with the best record out here, 4-8 before this game. This is a good statement win for Wiley and his Knights.
And Barrett surprisingly misses that one. Still in a good spot are the Knights with a 4-point lead and those 5.4 seconds left on the game clock. Barrett one more at the free throw line. Oh, in and out on that one as well. Don't want to foul if you're the Knights. Instead, it's another Lane Tech turnover to end this ball game. That's it. That's all for game 4. It was a good one. Lincoln Way Central is able to pull out the 51-47 victory. Any more thoughts from this one?
No, Lane Tech, the Knights were able to capitalize on Lane Tech's, mistakes, not shooting the ball well, but almost a perfect game from the Knights all around. Everyone contributing. Really big plays down the stretch from players like McLaughlin and Cagnolati.
Cagnolati with 17 points on the ball game. McLaughlin with 10 for Lincoln Way Central. Scantleberry with 13 leading the way for Lane Tech. Well, that was a good one. We're halfway through. Hoping for some more good basketball down the stretch of day 3 of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. We got the action for you right here on SportsTownChicago.com. We'll be right back for more action coming up shortly.